Hi Annemarie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Super excited about the exhibition.
Awesome, we're glad that you're here. So, as the first question, what made you decide to exhibit at the Swiss Art Expo this year?
I had a couple of conversations with some friends and gallerists, people who are in the business, and because I was thinking about it, but I'm a self-taught artist, so it's very difficult for self-taught artists to pass this stage. And they told me, well, you have what do you have to lose? As well, you're right. Maybe just a couple of $100, and that should be it. So let's try. And so that was one thing. But also, there's another thing which is quite important is that I do paint a lot. So I do have a lot of paintings, and I have to sell them. I have to get rid of them. I have friends. Some of my friends do buy my paintings, but I don't have enough friends. So I have to expand. That's why.
That's really cool. So, can you tell us something about the art that you're exhibiting here? I see you have three wonderful paintings.
Yeah, so as you can see, it's mainly around women. I love high heels, as you can see. I do love, strong women, powerful women. I like beautiful women. I like sexy women. I think you can see it. And yeah, so here is an oil painting on canvas. This is an oil painting on paper. I do love paint on paper, and that's oil painting on canvas on board. So this one is hard, this one is soft, and this one is even harder. So yeah, different materials, but I do enjoy all of them. I particularly do like when it's hard. I must admit that the softness of the canvas is can be sometimes a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you say you love beautiful women, so do we. How do you come up with the concepts? Like, what is the creative process? Like, how do you get your ideas on how you want to portray these beautiful women?
Yeah. This is a very long process. This is an ongoing process. So it's not that I wake up in the morning and say, okay, let's have an idea and how do I get into this idea? It's I do read a lot of fashion magazines. I do spend a lot of time on Instagram. I have many books on very good photographers. So I spend a lot of time, like watching, and very often I find a piece and I just scratch the paper or take the picture on Instagram. So I have a constant library that I do fill in with stuff. So that's the basics, and then I there's two things. It's either I decide to go for some of the canvas I have at home and say, okay, I would love to do this painting. I mean, to use this canvas. What could I put on this paint on this canvas? And the other side is I have a paint, I mean, a picture that I do really like, and where could I fit it on any of those canvas that I have? And sometimes it doesn't fit, so I have to go to the shop. So that's the first process. Then for the pictures, what I do is that I always put them in black and white. So some are already in black and white, like this is from a picture of Helmut Newton, the famous photograph. That's a black and white picture. This was not black and white, so I do take all those pictures, put them in black and white, and then I can go for my colors.
Yeah.
That's the idea. And then it's a 3 layers most of the time, a 3-layer process. Starting, of course, with the sketch. I do not measure anything. Yeah. Because every time I try, okay, this should be this and this should be this size, I'm always wrong. So I decided, okay, I'll just, do my sketch very quickly. If it fits, that's okay. If it's not perfect, it doesn't matter. And then there's a 3-layer painting. The first one, which is quite soft, but is I need to put the color on all the canvas, and then I can get into the painting. But I need this first step where I can start seeing the color, and that makes me happy, and then I can move forward.
Wow, that sounds awesome. That sounds really interesting. So, is there like a special message that you try to convey in your paintings, or is it just a purely creative process, or anything you want to say specifically?
I would say there is an indirect or involuntary message. I mean, I do paint what I like.
Yeah.
So all of these pictures that I had, I do love them. That's for sure. But it's true that if that can inspire some woman, that you can be powerful, sexy, nice. I mean, all those characteristics that those ladies have, then I'm very happy. But that's not the original message.
That's awesome. So I also really like that you have 3 paintings in like 3 different like technique variations. So can you tell us something a bit like what are your favorite techniques that you use? Like which ones do you use the most often? You talked about the 3-layer process before.
So I do love oil, but I did try everything, and I still do practice acrylic and watercolor. I do travel a lot for my business, and then I take my aquarelle with me, and then I do it too. Even when I'm traveling, I think that the people from the hotel get crazy because I have pieces everywhere. But I really do like oil. I mean, it's the fact that you can work it and work it and work it, and the fact that the color that you put on the painting is the one that will stick on the painting. I do really enjoy. Whereas for acrylic and even sometimes watercolor, you put the painting and then 1 hour after it's a different color.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's very frustrating. But yeah, that's I mean, oil painting on paper is one of my favorite way of working.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's really beautiful. So are there any like future projects that you would like to share? Anything exciting that you have planned?
Absolutely. So I'm working currently on a project that almost nobody has seen, which is to use the same process, but for the colors to use to get inspiration from the masters. So lately I've been watching a lot at Van Gogh. And so I take a painting from Van Gogh and I say, okay, this is what I want to do in black and white. This is the color I want to use. Where am I going to use this and this and this? And it's quite interesting. So I'm just working on that. And the next project would be to have my own model. Because here I use, girls, women that I've never seen. And I have a lot of ideas in my head. I did some drawings and I just need to find the body and the shoes.
Wow, that's awesome. So yeah, it sounds really interesting. It's also cool to hear the story behind it, and good luck with your future projects. And as the last question, how do you like the Swiss Art Expo so far? Were you able to meet some cool people or talk to other artists as well?
Frankly, it's wonderful. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. That's my first exhibition, so big experience for me. And I mean, before going here, I mean, the whole process, the organization, the people, I mean, you've been all fantastic. I've been a very bad student, meaning that I've always, send what you requested at the last minute, even sometimes late, and you've always been nice with me. I shouldn't tell that to the people, but and apart from that, I mean, I'm amazed by the number of people who come and look at the pictures and ask questions, and also it gave me the opportunity to talk with a lot of colleagues.
Yeah.
And it's fun because it's you have people from Guadeloupe, from Vienna, from South Africa, from everywhere. So it's nice interactions. I do love it, and frankly, the organization, I'm really amazed, really amazed.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We are glad to have you here, and yeah, it's been wonderful. So thank you so much for the insights.
Having me. I hope I'll come next week. Next week, no, next year. Sorry.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Annemarie.
Okay. Bye bye.